young Timothy in chapter 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3, he said, "Thou therefore, my son, endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ." He said, "No man that warreth entangle himself with affairs of this life, that he may please him who called him to be a soldier." Endurance. That means that when I'm enduring, I'm existing, I'm remaining positive until a definite change takes place. Then I say, well, since this man here was enduring, but in the midst of him enduring hardships, he was expecting something here. When I looked at expecting, when you look at the word expecting, means to anticipate. You follow me? I'm waiting. I got great anticipation. That's what he's saying here now. They're looking forward to something with eagerness. I'm looking forward to something with eagerness, with a positive attitude, that even though I might be in something now, I got a positive attitude about it, that God is not going to let me stay in it. He's going to come to my rescue, not when I want it, but he's going to be on time. Y'all hear what I'm saying? And that's why the Bible says in Hebrews 11 and 6, say, "He that come to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." The woman with this your blood, Mark chapter 5 verse 28, the Bible says she said within herself, "Oh, if I may but touch the hem of his garment, I shall be made whole." So when she came to Jesus, she came with a level of expectancy. See, a lot of us, when we come to God, we don't expect nothing. We expect, let me tell you something, whenever you meet Jesus, you ought to never leave the same way that you met him. You might have come here broke, but you ought to leave here saying, "I'm rich, I'm rich." Well, you might have come here with a frown, but you ought to leave here with a smile. I don't understand how some people can come into the presence of God and leave the same way that they left. Maybe something wrong with that, because everybody ever came into the contact with Jesus never left the same way. If you came dead, you walked out alive. If you came sick, you walked out healed. If you came broke, you left with money in your pocket. You'll never come into the presence of God and leave the same way, unless you got a spiritual blockages in the way. Let's look at it. This man blind Bartimaeus. Let's look at it now. Let's look at the man. Look at where he was. Look at where he was. Verse 46 says, "And they came to Jericho." Jericho was the city of antiquities. Jericho was located about 5 miles of the Jordan River. It was located 7 miles northeast of the Dead Sea. It was a place where Herod the king, you know King Herod, he built palaces there. Herod built palaces all around Jericho. You would find here, brothers and sisters, but this blind man would have died in Jericho if it had not been for Jesus passing by. I want y'all to listen now, because something happened in Jericho. Jericho was very unique. Jericho was a place that it had been cursed in the Old Testament. It was the place that a man by the name of Zacchaeus, he was a tax collector. He was a man of short stature. He had embezzled money. He was a man who worked for the government. But he had hiked up the amount of the taxes and put the difference in his pocket. But the Bible said when he heard Jesus was coming to Jericho, the Bible says if whenever Jesus came, there was always a crowd of people around him. Zacchaeus was so enthusiastic. He had great anticipation on seeing Jesus, but he could not see him, the Bible says, because of the press of the crowd. And sometimes the crowd can stop you from seeing Jesus. So what Zacchaeus did, he was so enthused about seeing Jesus, who he was, because Jesus was getting ready to pass that away. Instead of him letting the crowd stop him, he ran ahead of the crowd and climbed up in the sycamore tree. Somebody better talk to me. And the Bible said when Jesus was on his way to Jericho, he was passing by, and he looked up and saw Zacchaeus in that sycamore tree. He said, hey, make haste and come down. Today I'm going to your house. That means that no matter how you act, what you did, what you have done in your life, what you done did, how you did it, who you did it with, if you learn how to seek God, he'll go to your house. Somebody better talk to him. I say he'll go to your house out there. It doesn't matter who you are, where you came from, what your mama, daddy name is, what your cousin, your grandmother is on your first cousin's side. It doesn't matter. He'll go to your house. So he went to Zacchaeus' house in Jericho. What else happened in Jericho? The Bible says one day there was a man leaving Jerusalem going down to Jericho. It was a Neanderthal road. Dr. King said it was conducive for ambushing. They were ambushing. This man was leaving the church in Jerusalem going down to Jericho. When he was going down, a thief came. He ran out of the bushes and robbed the man and beat the man and left him by the wayside. And by chance, there was a priest came by, just left the service in Jerusalem. A priest looked at the man and passed by on the other side. Isn't that something? When the religious leaders pass by you on the other side, this man was wounded, but all of a sudden, here come a deacon of the church here. He was a Levite. He was the praise leader. Levite was the praise leader in the church. They were the one who was leading the praise. But when he saw this man, he passed by on the other side. Boy, isn't that something? But Jesus said there was a good Samaritan. Oh, somebody better talk to him. When he saw him, went over to him and bound up his wound, putting in a horn, and picked the man up and took him to the inn and told the innkeeper, you take care of him. But I'm going into the town, and when I come back, whatever he owes, I'm going to pay you. And Jesus said, which one of these three came to, was the good Samaritan? He said, he that had mercy upon him. He said, go and do thou likewise. Oh, something happened in Jericho here. Now, what I see is blind man. He's in Jericho. He was blind. Let's look at it. The Lord was making his way out of the city. And as he entered, blind Bartimaeus. You follow me? Verse 46. One of the few people that was healed by Jesus who is actually named. Because his name was Bartimaeus. But a lot of people, Jesus here, didn't have a name. Somebody better talk to me. Because when people come to church, everybody want to be named. Everybody want to be the big shot, the big star, the big chief, the big dog. Somebody in the Lord's house. God don't need no big shots. He needs some clay. You ain't got to say amen. I know I'm right about that. The only big shot in here is Jesus Christ. All of us are small shots. So look at somebody and say, you are a small shot. Come on, tell them, say, you're a small shot. The only big shot in here is Jesus Christ. Don't worry about me calling your name. The name ought to be happening here is Jesus Christ. You didn't come here. You ain't all that no bag of chips, baby. You ain't all of that. You ain't been dropped out of heaven with no lily white wing. The only big shot in here is Jesus Christ. Somebody better talk to me. So don't come here switching all around here. Don't come here switching to me. The big shot in here is Jesus. Y'all don't mind if I preach in here? This man here, Jesus called him blind. He called him blind Bartimaeus. Let's look at some stories. Y'all don't mind? Y'all want to take it to y'all mind? Look at some stories. Jesus was passing by one day in the 9th chapter of the book of John. He saw a blind man from birth. The man never had seen the trees, never seen the light, never seen his mama, never seen his daddy. He was born blind. And Jesus' the disciples said, well, master, who did sin, this man or his parent, that he was born blind? Jesus said, neither did this man sin, nor did his parents sin, but this man was born blind that he can understand the glory of God. He said, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day, because the night comes when no man can work. He said, long as I am in the world, I am the light on the world. And he spit on the ground, took a man's slobber in the dust, and made a noise. And when anointed the man out, and said, you go wash in the pool of Siloam. And the man went over to a pond and started washing. He said, I once was lost, now I found I was blind. Oh, somebody better talk to. No name. Nobody never knew his name. All they said was a blind man. I'm just going to show you because I don't want nobody to come here tomorrow. Oh, you know, the pastor, they called my name. Don't worry about me calling your name. You better worry about God calling your name. I might call it, but if God didn't get it, you still in trouble. Somebody better talk.